Hey guys, so I'm someone who has never really felt super comfortable or at home with calling myself part of the LGBT community. And that's for really a number of reasons. A couple being that I prefer to find commonality and community with people who have similar interests, hobbies, beliefs, rather than you're gay and I'm trans and we should be friends because of that, or you're a dummy girl, non-binary anteater and we should be friends because of that. That's just not my thing. And the other is that I find the community to be very much ideological and like an exclusive club in some ways, in which people who have different politics, people who aren't liberal, are basically shunned or sometimes vilified. And I don't really like that. And I've been to different LGBT events, groups, meetings throughout my years, and I've never really liked them or really ever felt like I should be part of that. I've been to different gay pride events, which, honey, gay pride in San Francisco, I felt like I needed to go to church and get baptized after that shit. It was an experience. Let's just say I won't be going again. A few times early in my transition, I went to Stonewall meetings, which Stonewall is like a large LGBT foundation that does different community activities and outreach and stuff like that. So it was a group setting and it was all trans people and self-described genderqueer people. And instead of it being a place where I could go early in my transition to sort of be, steered in the right direction at a time where perhaps I needed that, I felt like I was being indoctrinated. Every time I went, I felt like I was more so at some sort of like low-key political rally. It was a never-ending stream of I can't stand straight people this, I don't like cis people that. And it was basically just a platform to radicalize activists, now that I look back on it. I was dropped by pretty much all of my LGBT friends as well the moment I started doing YouTube videos. And so, needless to say, hopefully I'm painting the picture here that me and the community don't get along too well. So I put together some questions that I have for the LGBT community in the hopes of sparking conversation and dialogue. And obviously I understand that there are individual LGBT people who these questions are not going to apply to you. If they don't apply to you, then they don't apply to you. But here are the questions. So number one, why are gay pride events so hypersexual? I understand celebrating your rights, hooray. But why is it acceptable at these events to be just like as crude or as visually sexually explicit as you can be? Obviously, not everyone at these events is like that, clearly, but it's also a common enough thing that these are what these events are known for, and I witnessed a lot of it when I went to Gay Pride in San Francisco. I mean, isn't it kind of counterproductive to try to normalize a group of people by acting as abnormal as possible? Why is there such an ideological bias within the community? I mean, I'm really not mad at the fact that most LGBT people are liberals. It is what it is, but it's the attacking and vilifying and ostracization of gay or trans Republicans within the community that kind of bothers me. I mean, all it took was one video, my first video, of me talking about how I'm not a feminist, for my entire local LGBT community to attack me viciously, say horrible things about me, and to drop me as a friend after years and years of friendship. I think that's a problem. Why is it so common within the community for people to believe that gender is a social construct, but also that trans people are born with the brains of the opposite gender? Those are two directly contradictory statements. Get it together. Why is the acronym constantly expanding? I mean, people say this as a joke, but it's true. It used to be LGBT and now I believe it's LGBTQIAA. Are we eventually going to roll over to numbers, symbols, African Sign Language? Let me know. I'll try to keep up. Just let me know. Why does the community by and large support children transitioning when there are no long-term studies that show that it's actually a positive thing? Why exactly does there seem to be some gigantic gay collective witch hunt for the 2.5 Christian bakeries you can find somewhere in Alabama that don't want to bake cakes for a gay wedding? But the reaction to the Pulse Orlando nightclub shooting last summer was, oh, it has nothing to do with Islam, nothing to do with him being a Muslim. He was just repressed and demented. I mean, he was a Muslim, right? And that his parents were from Afghanistan. And he did pledge allegiance to ISIS before he did what he did. Just a thought. Why exactly is not wanting to date or sleep with a trans person transphobic? I mean, not wanting to sleep with men isn't sexist. Not wanting to sleep with black people isn't racist. Preferences. Why does the community insist on trying to change hearts and minds through laws? I mean, I understand the big ones, like marriage. Cool. But legislating pronoun usage in the workplace, that's just retarded. And to be honest, again, it's very counterproductive because who would want to hire someone who is a liability in that way? Can we please stop referring to any slight fluctuation in one's levels of masculinity and femininity as being trans? Can we just go back to the medical definition of transsexuals rather than the Tumblr one? Why in the world are straight people and cis people often so demonized by the community? I mean, I've seen so many LGBT people have this really toxic sort of adversarial view of the majority of society, and I find it to be really unhealthy. I mean, you can't just walk around calling straight people breeders, which always cracks me up because it's like, you're welcome for being here, and cis scum, and expect to be treated with respect back. It doesn't really work like that. And those are all my questions for this video. I hope that it sparks a lot of interesting conversations, debates, dialogue, screaming matches, and I will see you in the next video.